trade. It's as simple as that. Why would you ever take any business? One of the key aspects to any of these types of ideas is that we simply know that it's not going to be done and dusted in seconds. A lot of these things can take place over many, perhaps even hours, sometimes even days. But obviously, as a day trader, we're looking at these very short-term pieces of information that come in at any particular point. And from those information points, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a story. Lots of ideas from things like trade logs, lots of ideas from your own value chart narratives. These are all things that we can start to look around to see if we can build a story around a particular price, or more importantly, around a little bag worth of liquidity. So when we see this as a possible play, and we see this idea forming, it's probably not lost on anybody that as we go into, for example, an oil chart, and we start looking into some of those parts of the storyline as they build, you're obviously going to try and find an order flow element, a value element. And this is what we'd been seeing on oil running into that price level. Take a look at the storyline that built on oil here. I'm sure most of you saw this. I'm sure if you're a trade log viewer, you would have had massive value from what was happening here. We got this JRT trade, which was looking for bids if the price dropped below 76.84. Well, that's quite a strong piece of information already, isn't it? That was at 13.44. 76.84 is this price here. Well, that's kind of sensational already, isn't it? 76.84 is already on your trade log at 13.44. The buy trade actually never took place until 14.10. So you've had about 25 minutes to be positioned for this possible bit of business down here. We then see at the same time oil is on a bid watch into any supply. That's even better news, because now if we can run sweeps, if we can run liquidities back into this prior low, we're going to get aggregate supply. And then we see again oil bids expected into liquidity pools in aggregate supply. And then at the same time, we then see oil hedgers looking to bid this price. Oil bid watch into aggregate supply. And then what did we see? And then what did we see? Well, we saw aggregate supply. Is that not what you're looking for to bid into? Is that not what it says in these trade log entries to try and bid into aggregate supply? Yes or no? And if it says that, would you act on it? Is that enough of a storyline? Well, it's at least a very strong part of the storyline. And then what happens? Well, of course, what we're now hoping to see is, for example, our main signal here, which is, of course, our cycle lows on pullbacks. So at 13.59, we now also have that cycle low visible. So on the basis that this is now highlighted as the cycle low, we then see the opportunity to buy oil on the pullback with an accuracy of about 1 tick. Sounds as if it's impossible to achieve that, doesn't it? It sounds like it's impossible to bottom tick a marketplace like this. Yet again, there we've just done it. And you can't deny it, it's time-stamped. Nobody can argue with you about whether it was or whether it wasn't. It's just the way it is. It's the perfect trade at the perfect price. And obviously the takeaway from that perfect trade at the perfect price is 800 plus change. On a candle of this size with that volume, you do not hang about. You book money, always. No questions, no ifs, no buts. You book money. And that's it. Trade's finished. $800 profit. And it was all given to you in advance. The narrative was given to you. The storyline was given to you. The elements were given to you. The levels were given to you. It was all given to you. Now, all you had to do was agree with it, find it as a trade entry, and then get the business done. And the trade entry comes in the form of things like this exhaustion print here that we just highlighted, this exhaustion area here. Finding that idea at the right price against the leans. And even if you missed that, you had a 56 buy trade here, did you not? Did you have a 56 buy trade here? What about this exhaustion here with those lanes, with the book turning around here as well? All of these could have been opportunities for you to take advantage of with regard to that trade entry. And obviously, if you took advantage of those in those trade entry areas, it's been so easy to make the monies. And it's big, enormous money. All you've got to have is an ability to read and understand, an ability to act, an ability to have confidence that the storyline that you're seeing is correct. You've analyzed it, you've done your work on it, you've thought about it, you've gone through the processes, and you had a long time. You had over 10 minutes to read that and make your decision. If you can't make a decision within 10 minutes, guys, as a trader, you really shouldn't be thinking about trading. It's not going to happen for you. You need to be able to make decisions inside of seconds, never mind minutes. But when you get minutes to look at things, when you get the storyline forming over time and you're waiting for these brilliant trades, that's another one of those brilliant trades. It's just money after money today, guys. It really is. Hopefully you've taken a piece of that action.